Welcome back, vets and friends of vets, family members, curious people about veteran status. This is Veterans Did You Know? Today we're out at MCC and we're talking with the educational folks here at the college. Nancy Maycroft, who's a veteran herself, and Jack, who's at, what is his title?
I'm a work study. I'm a student, but I just work here part-time of the part-time.
Yep. And Jack's a perfect example of the individual. He represents you, younger vets out there, Iraqi vets and Afghan vets, any post 9/11 vets that are coming back, and Jack's working to get his degrees done, and he's in this office to help you out. And so, Nancy, we were talking a little bit earlier about this group that you got meeting here. What is that all about with this vets?
We have clubs on campus, and when I came on board, there wasn't a student veteran organization, and I thought, come on, we got to do something so that our veterans know that we're out here as well. So we developed a veteran student organization, and currently we have about 20 members, but we have 7 pretty active members. The other ones will come on board when we need assistance for fundraisers. Right now we're working on getting together with Rolling Thunder to do their coat drive here at MCC, and we're also talking about doing the Toys for Tots with the Marine Corps. So we're here to help, not just be an organization, but we want to help the community. We want to let our other veterans know that we're here for support of them, and we welcome veterans and non-veterans who are in support of us to become a part of that organization. But we're growing, we're working.
MCC has an excellent reputation of providing first-class education. That goes unsaid. But to recognize the veterans and to have a place where the vets can meet, because let's face it, a third of the vets coming back from this current conflicts, Afghan and Iraq, have post-traumatic stress. And you're already pretty stressed out from coming back and trying to reintegrate yourself into civilian populace and deal with the civilians out here. Jack, being a retired military myself, that can be a struggle, because we're used to having stuff done, running very important jobs, and just, life and death type situations, and you come back here, and sometimes it's hard. You feel like it's tough to fit in, especially if you're older. And you're going back to school, and now you're in your early 20s or even later than that, and you got young kids just out of high school, and you feel, well, I really don't fit. But my goal is I know I'm focused now, is that I want to find a career that is going to pay the bills for me and get through this. But it's still nice when post-traumatic stress flares up or you got some issues to find other veterans. And most vets will tell you it's very difficult to talk about those things unless you have another vet. It's great that you have a club or an organization that can meet here. So other vets, if you're going to MCC and you haven't heard about it, you need to hook up down here, because it's about getting together and finding out like situations, and things are tough. And I think we just talked with some of the instructors out here and the professors and stuff about dealing with students in your classroom that may have PTSD. And something Nancy just brought it up about a film. One of the classes was having a film, and it was based on something going on in a war or something.
Well, it was in an anthropology class, and this lady on the film made a statement that the war that is going on is senseless. And one of our vets that just got back from Iraq and was in the midst of this, he just had to get up and leave, and when he got up and left, he slammed the door. Well, he felt bad, called me, and he says, what do I do? And I said, you need to go back and talk to your instructor and let them know. And she was very sensitive about it after he had mentioned it. And many of the instructors don't understand that it's just a little thing that can cause that.
The thing is I suffer myself, but I actually was diagnosed. I went to see a psychiatrist when I got out, mostly because of how I was acting in my family, and I just got a new baby, and I didn't want, I guess, how I was feeling to affect my family. But I suffer for what it's called failure to let go of my duties. Yep. Everybody suffers differently.
And people don't realize, you know, you hear the news or whatever else, that these guys go out and now there's villages that have water, never had water. There's girls that never could go to school, are going to school because the schools have been built there and it's safe for them to do that. And again, when you're there and you come back and you hear the stuff, they say, well, that's not what's going on over there. That's not what's happening. That makes you angry.
Yeah.
But if you want to get to an argument with somebody, then that's, you know, and you have post-traumatic stress. That's not a good
Sometimes you can't control that anger.
No, it's just there.
I try to walk away or go somewhere where I'm secluded. Like I was telling Nancy earlier, you know, I got my best friend Moose. He's still in the Marine Corps, and he was in the same platoon. And when we start feeling weird, we just talk. We don't even talk about what happened. We don't talk about what's bothering us. It's hey, how you doing? You know, how's the kids? Did you see that new video game that came out? And then after about an hour of talking, you feel relieved almost. And all right, cool. You know, I'll talk to you later.
Well, that's good that you had this group here that we were just talking about. If you're a student here at MCC and you're a veteran, you might want to hook up with it. Or if you are a spouse of a vet or a significant other and you're not understanding why, you know, and a spouse, you know, and this is a statistic people don't know, that 92% of all combat vets out of Vietnam are in subsequent marriages. 92%. It's difficult to find a vet that's married to the same person they were before they went over there. Yeah. And so the spouse doesn't understand this. You know, I don't know what you went through. All I know is I'm getting the brunt of this anger, whatever else. And so the spouse needs to be able to come someplace too and sit down and talk to support groups for that also. That's available. So if you find a vet or you know a vet that's in crisis, help them out. The County Department of Veterans Affairs, we have everything in place that you need. We just need to get you down there and take care of it for you. And as Jack said, don't let that stop you using that GI Bill. No. Use those benefits, get back in school, they're hooked up here for you, they can work with you, they can find a career field that's going to be the best for you, and get that education. Do something with that.
That's how I was. I got out in 07, and I immediately came down here and registered, but then I didn't follow through. And I think a lot of it was because I was afraid to pick classes and have the opinionated instructor and the conflict. You know, I don't want my grade to go down because I don't want to have to pay the money back to the VA, or, you know, I want to be successful. But I think what really pushed me was because of the economy, and there's nothing we can do right now but go to school and let the VA pay for it. Man, you earned it.
Well, and I'm sorry. The other thing is you don't have to be afraid to come into our office because you're dealing with all veterans. Okay. I may be from the Vietnam era, but
your kids are over there right now.
My kids are over there. Would I go back? I definitely would, because I still have it ingrained in me, and I've been out for
a couple of years.
You know, I think I got out in 2001.
You're still young. If you think about it, we got 3 different eras. We got Vietnam era. Tim's part of the first Gulf War, and then I'm 9/11, so.
You've got us all.
You know, and I always tell guys when we go back to school, I say, you know, the toughest class you're ever going to have to take, what, biology, chemistry? No, it's the first class. It's signing up and committing and attending that first class. And once you're in there, you think, okay, I got that one done. Now what's next? What's next? Yeah. That baby steps. You know, 1 or 2 classes a semester, you know, until you feel comfortable with it. And then you get hungry. Then you see the end result is out there, and you'll follow through and stuff. So.
Yeah, one of the class I teach on campus as well. I teach a college success seminar. It's like a freshman orientation, and when a veteran is coming back to school or for the first time, I'll recommend them to take that class.
No, she forces you.
Now, Jack. But I recommend it, and I will tell them when I'm teaching it, because if I can get a whole class of veterans in there, we have what in our class right now, about 4 veterans?
4 or 5.
Yeah, 4 or 5 veterans in our class. It's only letting other veterans know who the other veterans are, and they're very supportive of one another. My one vet grabbed one of the other students' bags because we did a tour last week, and her backpack was pretty heavy, and he just grabbed her backpack and took off with it. And not a lot of people help one another that way, but I find that with our veterans, they are very supportive and they help each other.
One term that I've been hearing a lot since I've been out and seen the VA is vets for vets. You know, we're here for each other.
Yeah, that's our slogan on all of our letterhead and everything is veterans helping veterans.
Yep.
Yeah, we don't give a a handout, we give a helping hand, big difference. But it's, you know what, we're all been there, we're all vets, or family members. Not 83% of the families in the United States have a veteran someplace. So rarely is a family that doesn't have a vet someplace. So we're 14% of the population. We did what was asked of us. We went where we were told to go, and we did what we were told to do, and we served our country for whatever reason. And the country says we're going to compensate you a little bit for this, if you're wounded or education or whatever else. So veterans, it's up to you. It's up to you to use those benefits, because if you don't use them, you will lose them.
I like to say something that, don't be discouraged. Don't let, well, I've been out of school for 10 years, I've been out of school for 50. Don't, that's all out the window. Last time I was in school was in 2000. And now I hold a 3.8, 3.9 GPA.
There you go.
You know, I mean, it's not as difficult as you think it is. What's the difficult part is just getting off your butt and actually doing it. You've already been committed before, so commitment's not a foreign thing for you.
And listen to what they said. Don't think, hey, because you saw this conversation we have today, and you're going to come down here tomorrow, sign up thinking, I'm going to start school tomorrow. Well, I'm all fired up. It's not going to happen like that. You got to, know when the semester starts, do a little homework up front, get your documentation together, come down and see them now and get set up for the next semester, so that the timetable's there, you're in the groove, you got your books, give you some time to look them over, and you're committed. But do that. Come on down as soon as you see this and get the ball rolling. That's the first thing you got to do. It's totally up to you.
Do you guys have the, I don't remember the website, it's like ocnet.org or onet?
No.
I'm trying to think. They gave it to us when I was EASing for the VA, and basically it's a website, and then you can click any career.
ONET.
ONET.
Yeah, ONET.
And it tells you the demand in the career.
Explore.
Yeah, because a lot of individuals will come out thinking they're going to do something because maybe back in the day it was in demand or it was a decent paying job, but now you realize that it's not even a demand at all. And then now you're going to school for something that you may not be able to do, or it was kind of a waste of time. So
make sure
research.
With that degree you're going to get it, or that certification is something you can walk right out and put to use.
So a lot of the nurses individuals are saying that, back in the day nursing was huge, really in demand, still is.
Yep.
But because of that, more and more people are into nursing programs. It's hard for them to actually find jobs because so many people jumped on that at the time. So just do your research.
So Nancy, what's the number they should call to your office, or who do they get a hold of? Or,
Well, they can call my office at 231-777-0342, and that's a direct line to myself, or an alternate number would be 777-0345.
Or just come down to the MCC, walk through the campus. It's a beautiful campus. Walk through the hallways down here, you'll see all ages of individuals are going to school here, and people putting their lives and making something happen. It's a great environment, and use those benefits. Use them.
And we're located in room 106, so we're right on the top floor in room 106, and can't miss us. We're all glass here.
The fishbowl.
Well, thanks a lot, you guys. This was enjoyable. Good conversation today, and I hope you veterans got something out of this, and we'll follow through on it. So remember, the big thing is get that discharge paper at 214, find out where it is, make sure it's registered, you have it ready, and come on down. So thanks again.